Hello, I'm Brad Phillips here with Puppy Steps Training, and I've got Coco in the crate with me. Very excited to send her to you. She is just a very sweet dog. I think you're absolutely going to love her. So this video is her personalized demonstration. So we are going to be showing you all of her manners, her obedience commands, and the leash work. So that first video that I sent you the link to does have my 3 keys to success, the crate training and the potty training expectations. So definitely go and watch that video first. Those 3 keys are extremely important with everything that we're going to do today. In fact, you are going to see the consistency, the follow through, and management in action here. So like I said, Coco's doing great. She's reached our standard in every aspect of our training. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sending her home. So just very, very excited with where she's at. So make sure that you're consistent with it and that you follow through. These next 3 days are going to be the hardest, and that's because she's going through a stressful transition flying to you. She has to get to know you. She needs to get to know her new home, and you need to establish a relationship based on you being the leader. And so during these 3 days, we are going to focus on the manners more than the commands and the leash work. So that way we can just build this relationship. We can help Coco start to decompress and start to build that relationship. So like I said, she's a very sweet dog. She loves people, very affectionate. And she really switches. Her personality is a nice middle of the road. Sometimes she's very confident and kind of this really go-getter puppy. And then other times she's very submissive and just needs to take her time. So I imagine during this transition period, she is going to be a little bit more submissive, a little bit more nervous. So we just want to focus on building her confidence, gaining that relationship with her, and helping her settle. So with that, we are going to dive right into the manners. So the first manner that I'm going to talk about and demonstrate is her doorways. So as you can see, she's in the crate right now. I am going to let her out, and then we are going to take her outside to go to the bathroom. So anytime that I let Coco out of the crate, we go through a closed door together. That could be an outside gate as well. I expect her to hold an automatic stay. So I do not need to say stay or wait or anything like that. I expect that as I open that door, she is going to patiently wait for me to release her. So really that's what I'm looking for, is just some control on her part. If she did try and step out of the crate, I might simply close the door. I can correct her and tell her no, but I shouldn't have to actually tell her to stay. Now, if she did just come barreling out and she got past me, I am going to go and get her and have her do it again. I don't want Coco thinking that if she's quick enough or sneaky enough, she doesn't have to hold this doorway. So that is follow through, and I am always going to follow through. When we go through a closed house door, typically if we're going outside, I have a leash attached to her, so I can use that leash to make sure that she doesn't break through, or I can lift up a leg and block her. But I'm still expecting her to wait patiently and be under control for both going out as well as coming back in. She doesn't need to sit, lay down, or stay. We do want her to stay, but I don't care whether she's sitting or laying or standing. She just needs to show that she's in control. So as you get her home, a lot of these manners you can basically customize to fit your household and your home. So with us here, any closed door, we are having her hold that stay. So that's even like this door going to our back room or any of our gates, any of our exterior doors. I expect this, this doorway manner. However, at your home, you can customize that. Bare minimum, make sure that she's holding it for the crate and anytime we go through an exterior door. Those are times where most likely she's going to have some sort of a charge built. And so we want to just make sure that we can follow through with this impulse control and make sure that she's being patient. So let's go ahead and let her out now. Okay, good girl. You can see she just waited patiently, waited for that release, which I said okay, and then she's able to come out. Good girl. Now I'm going to hook this leash on her, and then we're going to walk over. I'll have her ring the bells so that you can see that, and then we'll go outside, take her to the bathroom quickly. So yeah, notice the way she rings the bells as well as the way that she holds this doorway, both going in and out of this exterior door. So I'll actually have her ring the bells twice. So we'll walk over here. She like, okay, outside, good girl. One more time, okay, outside, good girl. So now we're gonna walk outside. You'll notice she doesn't have to sit, lay down. She's just gonna wait patiently for me to release her through. Okay, good girl. So, same expectation coming back in. Okay, good girl. She waits for me to release her through, and then we can go through together. And once again, if she tried to bust her way through, I can use this leash and correct her, or I can lift up my leg and block her. But either way, she doesn't get to just run through without waiting for me to release her. We always want to make sure that we're consistent and we follow through, and we always end on a success. So the next manner we're going to talk about is her greeting, or sit to greet. So we've taught Coco that if she wants my attention, this is what she needs to do. She needs to sit at my feet politely and patiently, without jumping, without pawing, any of those attention-seeking behaviors. So this is a replacement behavior for jumping, and it just teaches her, once again, if she wants my attention, she needs to be polite, she needs to sit to get it. So this is going to be the first thing that you work on with Coco. I'm going to show you what we call our greeting exercise. It's very simple. It's just going to help Coco engage with you and help her understand that the same expectations apply for you as they do for me. So what you're going to do, you're going to take a leash, put it on her, take a couple of treats, and you're just going to say her name, walk backwards. Once she sits, tell her okay, give her a treat, and then we'll do it again. So I'm going to do this 3 times in a row. So you're going to see me give her a treat twice, and on the third one I'll pet her. So you're going to do this in your home 3 or 4 times a day for the first week. So this is really going to help her understand that the same expectations apply and help her establish this relationship with you. So it looks like this. Coco. So I'll take a few steps back. Okay, good girl. Coco. Okay, good girl. Coco. So you can see she's just following. Oh, good girl. So this is a behavior that we've started to wean the treats off. I wouldn't say that you should do that for at least a month or so, but we've worked on this enough that the expectation is there, and this should be an automatic behavior. So instead of giving her a treat, I go down and pet her, which she loves her belly rubbed. This is her favorite thing in the world. Oh, yeah, you're a good girl. Good girl. Yeah. So once again, it's just Coco. She follows me around. Oh, good girl. This is how we worked on our marker, so establishing the word okay and helping her understand that that meant a reward was to follow. This is how we worked on our name recognition, as well as worked on some engagement. So if she's engaging with me, she's focused on me. Once again, this is a replacement behavior for jumping. So if I were calling her over, Coco, good girl, and she tried to jump, I would step into her and tell her off. And I would bring my knee up. So I'm not extending, we're not trying to kick the dog, but it's just this off, helping her understand that I don't appreciate that behavior and that she needs to stay planted. If she just tried to rear up and grab the treat or meet me halfway, I could take that treat away and just tell her no. We've also taught her to have a very soft mouth, and so if she were trying to quickly grab the treat out of my hand, I could also tell her gently and expect her to be very, very soft. So in general, I always give her a treat in the palm of my hand, then I'll cover it with my thumb, so that way I can control when she gets it. I don't ever really give her a treat between my thumb and pointer finger. That's just asking her to nip your fingers. That's always how kids want to give a treat, and then they're sad when they feel the teeth. So we have practiced this. Come here. So I can tell her gently and expect her to be very soft. Yes, that's a good girl. So when we're doing this greeting exercise, we are making sure that she's not jumping and she's not having a hard mouth. Coco. So everyone that's going to have like regular interactions with Coco should do this exercise. For strangers or people she's only going to see maybe, I don't know, every other month or something like that, I'm not going to have them do this exercise. Instead, I am going to hold the leash and we can walk Coco up and allow them to meet her, and that way I can give her instruction if she gets ill-mannered. I have the same rules for strangers as well, because you're going to be walking her, you're going to have a lot of people say, oh my gosh, she is so cute, can I pet her? Which is fine, but I would say especially for like the first year, while you're really establishing these manners, you're working through this adolescent phase. I have this rule just permanently for my dogs, is that 95% of the time when people ask to pet my dog, I tell them no. The polite way to do it is to say, no, we're in training, and then you can move to the side of the trail, engage with her, and let them leave. Especially adults. I'm like, you don't need to pet my dog. Little kids, that's where I'm a sucker, because I've got little kids. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, you can pet my dog. Or if it's somebody you know and you're going to stop and talk, then it's a little bit different. But strangers, just tell them no, that you're training her, and move to the side. When I am going to meet a stranger, and this is the same thing I would do with like family members that she's only going to see every few months. Come here. So when I come across somebody and I say, yeah, you can meet her, you can pet my dog, I will tell them, yes, they can meet her, but she does need to be in control. So I will approach them and I will stop maybe 5 or 10 feet short, make sure that Coco's focusing on me, and then I can invite them over to pet her. So the reason I like to do that instead of walking all the way up is oftentimes when we walk towards somebody, that last like 3 to 5 feet, the dog pulls and we don't correct them because we're right there with the person already. And it's uncomfortable sometimes to correct our dog in front of people. So if we're planted and we have them approach, I am now in a better position to be able to correct Coco. So if I invited those people up and she started pulling, she started getting out of control, I could tell her no, pop that leash, and we would reset. Come here. So distance is always your friend. I can always get a little bit more distance between me and the distraction and help her refocus. I am never going to let people pet her if she is jumping, if she's pawing, and just getting out of control. She needs to be calm. If she can be calm, they can come up, they can love on her, and then when they leave, I have her re-engage with me, so I have her sit, look at me, reward her, and then we can carry on. So that's how you're going to do it. Even when people come to your house that want to meet her, you can have them, stand and wait, and you can bring Coco over on the leash, make sure that she's in control, and then allow them to meet her. As she gets older and we practice this, it's going to become an automatic behavior to where every new person, she just comes and sits down and waits for that attention. But as a puppy, that's a lot to ask for. And if we let her get away with pulling or jumping with new people, then she's going to think she can do that with every new person. So it is very, very important that we hold her to the standard. And strangers don't care about your rules. They don't care about how much time and money that you've invested into this dog. And so when Coco starts jumping on them and you go to correct Coco, they'll say, oh no, I love dogs, it's okay. And they almost stop you from following through with your rules and your expectations for your dog. And once again, they learn that, oh, if strangers are around, I no longer have to listen, which is what we absolutely do not want. So, a lot of information there. I am going to touch a little bit more on jumping before we move on, because we talked about it briefly. If she jumps up on me, I'm going to lift my knee up and block her. That is a big reason why we established this greeting, was a replacement behavior for jumping. But a couple little tips here. If you notice, if I say Coco and we start walking backwards, she follows me, right? So if I step back, she's going to follow. So especially with little kids, I tell them, if you don't want the dog to jump on you, don't step back, because as soon as I step back, she's going to follow. If I'm nervous that she's going to jump, I'm always going to step into her. So if I can restrict that space, she's less likely to jump, and now I put myself in a position where it's easy to bring my knee up. If you have little grandkids, keep a hold of that leash, and that way if Coco tries to jump, we can quickly tell her no, pop that leash, and get her kind of away from them. If little kids run, the dog's gonna chase them and then they try and jump. So we just wanna make sure that we remain calm and we give Coco appropriate information. Now, if she tries to jump up on like the couch or a counter, anything like that, I'll tell her off, and I usually clap to just drive that point home. And if you watch that first video, you know that if she doesn't respond to that, I'm immediately going and getting her. I'm not gonna sit here and say, no, off, Coco, off. It's one time, and then I help her succeed. Oh, good girl. Okay, so that's the greeting, that's jumping, and that's gently. So now we are going to, we'll talk about, just kidding. I was gonna say we'll talk about some handling, and then when I thought about bending down and petting her, there's a couple other things that we need to talk about with jumping. So if you notice, when I come down here and I start petting Coco, she'll lean into me, and then she usually flops over, which is fine. She's not allowed to climb up on me. So if I'm down here petting her, and she sticks one paw up, that's kind of like that yellow light. If I allow her to put one paw, then it's gonna be two, and then she's in my face. So she's not allowed to climb up in my lap. Oh, good girl. She's not allowed to jump on me when I'm down here. So if she did, I would tell her off, and I would slide her away. I need to create some separation where I can take away my hands and no longer be touching her. So you can see, like, she wants to climb up, she wants me to pet her. Oh, good girl. And so I just want to make sure that she is grounded and she's not trying to jump up. So I also don't want to correct her here because she can be a little bit sensitive and she's doing nothing wrong. But if she climbed up or she jumped, I would say no, off. I would slide her away and I'd take away my hands, and then I'd wait for her to sit and show that she's being polite. Which, once again, this is fine. She's not doing anything wrong. I can go ahead and pet her again. If she immediately ran back over and jumped up on me, I would say no, off, slide her away, and I would stand up. So biggest thing is being able to create some separation and take away my hands. My hands give all good things. They give pets, they give treats. And so if I'm like, oh no, don't do that, but I'm still kind of petting her, it's not really a correction. I need it to be very distinct. So same thing if she started to mouth on me. So if I'm down here petting her and she put her teeth on my watch or my little bracelet here, or on my hands, I'm gonna tell her no and close her muzzle. So when I do this, I usually take her collar and my fingers go under her chin, and then my thumb's gonna wrap around the top of her muzzle. I'll tell her no, and then take my hands away. So I'm not clamping down, we're not hurting her at all. Oh, good girl. We're just making sure that she understands, nope, that's not okay, and then I take my hands away. Wait for her to sit, wait for her to show that she's being polite, then I can go back to petting her. She does it a second time, it's no, and then I stand up. She's not allowed to mouth on anything that's mine. So my watch, my skin, my shirt, my shoes, she's not allowed to chew on me. If she's really persistent and she just keeps chewing on like my shoelaces, then I'm going to redirect her to something that's appropriate to chew, because she might just need that outlet. And that's the same thing if she started chewing on like a baseboard or a pillow or anything like that. I'm going to tell her no and redirect her towards something that she can chew on that's more appropriate. Because especially her age, so let's see those teethers. She still has a lot of teeth to lose. And so the next month or two, she's going to need to chew on stuff quite regularly. I mean, she'll need to chew on things throughout her life, but it's going to be heavier as she's losing these teeth. So if she's chewing on something, tell her no, redirect her towards something that's appropriate. And try and match texture or consistency. So if she's chewing on something soft, give her something soft. Okay. If she's chewing on something hard, like a table leg, give her something like a bully stick. Try and match those needs. Huh. Do you want to play? Okay. No? She says, you were giving me treats, so why would I play with a toy? Okay. Yeah, you can see once we get food involved, she's like, I have no interest in a toy. That's okay. We'll try again here in a second. So, as you might have noticed, so I know you always flop over. We've spent a lot of time kind of harassing her, checking her teeth, clipping nails, checking her paws, her ears, brushing her. So all this, we just want to make sure that she's very used to being handled. We'll put her in little vet holds. And we want to make sure that she's not going to be kind of reactive. Like, we don't want her to growl or try and bite or anything like that, which she's never displayed any of that. But we do just spend a lot of time doing this. And which it needs to continue, because she's going to have to be groomed regularly. You're going to have to brush her daily. And so she just needs to be comfortable with all of that. So you can see she just, I know, very comfortable, huh? Little girl. Okay. So if you don't want to play with the toy, let's see if you want to chew on a bully stick. Oh, it's going to be pretty hard to show a drop it command if you won't hold on to anything. Okay. Well, at some point, I will get her to hold on to something, and I will show you that drop it command. But she is just fixated on the treats. So let's talk about her mealtime manners. Anytime or every time that we feed her, I expect her to hold an automatic sit stay, which you can see that's a behavior we use quite often. So if she's standing, I can just shake that bowl and expect her to sit down. And at any point when I'm setting this bowl down, if she stands up, we consider that a break, and I will reset her. Okay, good girl. Oh, if you can't tell, she loves her treats. There we go. Good girl. So I don't regularly take away her food. That would drive me nuts if I'm sitting there eating and someone was like, nope, you're done, and came and took it. But for the sake of showing you this again, I can shake it, set it down. She's waiting politely, and then I can release her. Okay, good girl. And then she's free to eat. She's not aggressive towards her food. She doesn't try and guard it. I can take it, all that. So we do that twice a day because we're feeding her at 6 and 6. The morning you can adjust to really fit your schedule. The evening I feed her no later than 6 p.m. because she goes to bed at 10, and I want 4 hours for her to clear her system. So, okay. I want to say that's pretty well all of the manners besides the drop it command, which, yeah, go on, go on. Which she just does not want to play right now. She's just in working mode. With the drop it command, I expect her to physically release it, if not spit it out, and she should not fight me. When she does release it, I say good, and then I'll throw it and say okay. So good, once again, means that she's doing the right thing by letting go of it, but she doesn't get to just grab it whenever she wants. Go, 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 go. Okay. Yeah, you're making this one hard. She'll chew on it. Here we go. Might get a second. Come on. Come on. Coco, drop it. Good girl. So that is my expectation. I mean, she barely was kind of chewing on it. I wanted to take advantage of that. She did actually take it. Okay, good girl. And so that's why I was pretty quick with that. But she has a great drop it command, and that's because she just wants to engage with you. So with that, that is our manners. So that's what we really want to focus on the first 3 days, is establishing what our expectations are in the home. She's not allowed to jump up on everything. She has to wait at her doorways. She needs to be polite. She can't chew on things. Sit to greet, gently, wait for her food, all of that. So that's where our focus is going to be. Once again, building those expectations. But now I'm going to show you the obedience commands and the leash work. The first command we're going to talk about is the place command. So I absolutely love the place command. Coco does a great job at this. I think this is one of the most useful commands that we teach them. So the place command is something that we have been building up to be a universal command where she can stay on anything with a boundary. These beds are awesome for it. It's a very easy way to teach it because that's a very distinct boundary. So when I give this command, I'm going to step close, I'm going to say place and point, and once all 4 paws are on, I will say good, give her a treat, and then she's expected to stay. So I didn't send her here, so I'm going to actually get her off so that I can show you. Come here, Coco. Good girl. Good girl, huh? So I can just step there and say place, and I expect her to go on. Now she's expected to stay. So as I implement harder distractions, I will go and reinforce this command. So I'll go up and give her another treat and tell her good. And once again, it depends on what's going on, distractions, how long it's been, all of that. So right now she's doing about 2 minutes with various distractions. So I can walk around her, talking. I mean, this isn't a huge distraction, but as she continues to stay on her place, I'll go up and say, oh, good girl. And then when I release her, she won't get a treat. So I want her thinking she's going to get way more treats by staying there than ever coming off. So it's going to go, okay, good girl, but I can pet her. Tell her she's a good girl. Coco, place. Good. So now let's make things a little bit harder. I'm actually going to step outside. We'll leave her view, and we'll see how she does. Good. So I'm going to reward her anytime that I implement a new or a heavier distraction. So leaving the room is a big distraction. Knocking can often be a big distraction for dogs. So I want to reward her being calm and staying in that place. Real life applications. So I've taught my dogs that anytime somebody comes to the door, so whether the doorbell rings or somebody knocks, their job is to go to their place. So that way they don't bark and they don't just rush the guests. So I love using the place for that. I use the place when I'm doing dishes, and it's like, I just need you to stay put over here. Here's something to chew on. This is your job, is to staying on this place. Maybe you're bringing in groceries. You need her out from underneath your feet. The place command. So if you're consistent with this and you practice it, within a couple months, Coco can be doing 10, 15, 20 minutes. So this is one that it's really easy to build up because she still has some freedom to get up and move around and be a little bit more comfortable, but the expectation is that she's going to stay on this place. So good. Okay, good girl. Okay. So very similar would be the crate command. Coco, crate. So I point, she goes in, she gets the treat when she turns around, and not when she comes out. Okay, good girl. Crate. Okay. Coco, crate. Notice that I'm not having her hold near as long of a stay here, and that's because if we were going to leave her in there for a longer period of time, I would close that door. So we would lock her up. Notice that door opening is not the release. Okay, good girl. Now, as you're going to be introducing her to a new crate, good girl. She may hesitate. Okay, so if she hesitates, I can simply maybe tap on the top or stick my hand in the crate and have her follow that food lure in. Okay, good girl. I don't want to just throw treats in the crate because then she's going to kind of become reliant on that. So instead, I would rather, see now she's guessing. Come here. Sit. Good. I would rather lure her in and then, okay, mark the behavior, give her the treat after that. Okay. If she was really hesitant, nope, come here. Come here. If she was really hesitant, I could take her by the collar and guide her in, but typically I don't have to do that. Good. Ooh, distraction. Okay. So both crate and place, she gets the treat when she goes on or in and not when she's released. So now we're going to go over sit and down, and both of those have a stay attached. So with those, she gets a treat at the very end. So a little bit different, but these are a short-term stay, and they are position specific, where both the place and the crate, she can remain standing, she can move around and get comfortable, where this, she needs to stay in that position. So we do have hand signals for sit down and stay. So sit is just a scoop over the nose. Down, I take my hand flat and tell her down, and it's also off to the side, and then stay is a stop sign. Coco, come here. So we got sit, good. So I'm gonna show you each one step by step. Coco, down. So here she's not really focusing, so I'm gonna get a little bit lower. Okay. I would say out of everything that we taught Coco, the down was the one where we experienced the most resistance. She didn't like to lay down on command, but it's funny because as soon as you go down and pet her, she immediately flops down. So, Coco, come here. But notice I didn't repeat myself. Down is I held that hand there, which she's gonna be really sticky today. And then I'll get a little bit lower. Stay. So now we're going to do a down stay. But once again, even though she's kind of being a little bit slow with that down and she's making me get a little lower to the ground, I'm not getting frustrated. I'm not repeating myself, being patient, allowing her to process and then comply. So now with these stays, so she's in a down stay right now. If she came up even into a sit, that's a break. I would tell her no and have her do it again. And the length of these stays are about 20-30 seconds right now with various distractions. Me just talking is a good distraction because she's obviously waiting for a release, so waiting for me to say that word, and sometimes they can break or think that we just forgot about them or we're not paying attention. Okay, good girl. And then she gets a treat at the very end. Let's do one more down. Coco, down. You're kind of being a little sticky today. Okay, good girl. Good girl. So notice that one, she quickly went halfway down and then stopped and was like, do I really want to do this? Which, she's a living animal. She's deciding. She's got to process and then make a decision. And so we're patient. I'm not taking away that processing ability, and I always want to help her succeed. So, and there's going to be days where she does this at home. Other days where it's like really quick, where she's just really snappy with all of her commands, kind of like she was with the place and crate. And then she's going to pick one where she's like, I don't really want to do this today, but we're always going to help her succeed. She doesn't get to just decide to ignore me. Now, if she's really struggling with something, I might back it down to a very simple command. Like I might just be prepared to immediately go all the way down and help her do it a little bit quicker, but I don't want to just allow her to ignore it or choose not to do it. Coco, good girl. sit, stay. Now, where we're in a sit stay, if she laid down right here, I would be okay with that, because a down stay is more of a stable stay, more points of contact on the ground. So I will allow her to lay down. However, once again, in the down stay, she's not allowed to come up into a sit. That same, kind of same amount of time and distractions. She's doing 20, 30 seconds with various distractions. Here, we'll mix it up and throw a treat on the ground. Okay, good girl. Oh, you can eat it. There you go. Okay, so if she breaks once or twice, that's fine. I'm just gonna tell her no and have her do it again. If she breaks a third time in a row, it's too hard. Whether it's something we were just doing, it could be the length of time, could be the distraction, or the amount of distance I was getting, doesn't matter. If she breaks 3 times in a row, it's too hard, so I'm gonna help her succeed. So the next time I do it, because once again, I'm always gonna end on success, I'm not gonna allow her to end on failure. So let's just say we're doing a down stay. Once again, she's kind of going slow with that down. Let's say that every time I told her stay, we'd get to 15 seconds and then she would break. So on the chance that she broke 3 times in a row, the 4th one, come here, I might break this behavior down to the simplest form. So I'd say, Coco, down. I'd get low. We're gonna help her succeed. Stay. And I might do like a 5-second stay. Okay, good girl. Just so we can make sure to get a success. Oh, that's a good dog, huh? Yeah, that's a good girl, huh? I never, never, never want to end on failure. Always going to help her succeed. Even if that means, okay, we're doing a 5-second down stay here just to make sure that it's a positive and we don't make Coco frustrated. And then I would say, you know what? You're a little bit tired. We've been working for a while. Let's end there. Or I might say, hey, we just barely started. Maybe you're a little bit distracted. Let's build it up. And the next day we'll do 7 seconds, and then we'll do 10, and then we'll do 15, and we'll build her back up to where she was at. Which we have been at this a while. So sit, down, stay. Okay. Our last command right here that we're going to talk about is a leave it command. So I'm going to take a different type of treat. These are the pet botanics, so we do use these during training, but we're just going to pretend that this container spilled, and I'm going to ask her to leave it. Oh no, they spilled. So in this, where I can control the scenario, I'm going to take a hold of the leash, and that way if she tries to ignore it, I have a way to follow through. So I'm always setting her up for success anytime that we're practicing. So she clearly saw it. Come here. So we're going to walk over. I'm going to say, leave it. Good girl. Notice how she immediately looked up at me. So I marked it with good, and then she was able to walk away from it. So once again, these are treats that she's eaten while she's been here. We use them during training, but now I just told her they're off limits. So when I say leave it, she's not allowed to try and just quickly grab it. She's not even allowed to go up and sniff them. So here she's kind of sitting. She's giving him a wide berth. Good girl. And when she chooses to ignore those, I'm going to reward her. So I will continue to reward her as she continues to leave them alone. And if she did try and come in here and eat one, oh, good girl, I can say leave it again. Good girl. So we use leave it for anything that I can take away from Coco or I can take Coco away from. So we practice this a lot on our walks. There's always something gross on the side of the road. We've also practiced with just different items of food, kind of set it up like leave it. Good girl. So there, notice she kind of snuck in there. I gave her that leave it command, and then she stopped. She came over to me. So we've practiced this with a lot of different things. I don't use leave it for something that she's always going to have access to. So like a table leg if she's wanting to chew on it. That's not a leave it. That's no, and we're going to manage by limiting her access or making sure that we're managing her by watching when she's there. This is when it gets hard, is when we set it up with food and I go to clean it up because now my hands are in there. So once again, my hands, she's used to me giving her treats, and now we've got treats on the floor. So this is where they always try and get a little bit more invested, which she's just gonna sit behind me. So if she doesn't, so here, nope, leave it. So notice she kind of pushed, so I just pushed her out of the way. That wasn't harsh, that wasn't mean, but that was making sure that she doesn't get to rush in there and grab the treat after I've told her not to. Kind of still just setting her up by leaving that one out there. So this is good practice. And if she chooses to leave it alone, I'll reward her here. Let's see if she's still. Very tempting. No? Good. And this is a good example of how training can be adapted into daily life. Okay, good girl. You spill something on the floor and she's heavily invested into it. Let's practice. Let's work on something. Every interaction with your dog trains them in one way or another. So you're teaching them whether they can get away with certain things at certain times. Oh, you know what? If they're a little distracted, I can do what I want. And so instead, take an extra 30 seconds, help her understand, reward her for doing the right thing, correct her for doing the wrong thing, help her understand your expectations in everyday life. So with that, we are now going to switch my camera angle to take advantage of a little bit more of the room, and we're going to practice her leash work. So it has been raining outside, otherwise we would go out there. We might go out there for a recall. We'll just see if it lightens up. But we are going to go over her heel, what to do if she pulls, engagement, the long lead walk, and the recall. And that will conclude the demonstration. So I'm going to switch things around, and then we'll jump in with that heel. Heel. All right, so we're going to talk about Coco's heel. Good girl. So you'll notice Coco's on my left side. We have a loose leash, and she's right here next to me. So expectation is that she's focusing on me. So I have to give her a lot of feedback if I want to keep this focus. Good girl. So I am constantly talking to Coco when we're on a heel, telling her that she's doing a great job, she's being a good girl, she's staying focused. Oh, that's a good girl. Because our heel, so the heel is for you. This is not how we exercise Coco. This is how we get past distractions or get from point A to point B. Heel. So this is not our casual walk around the block. This is, we're walking around the block and here comes another dog. Nope. Good girl, or a stroller, or a biker, anything like that. So we are doing this in short bursts. Good dog, good girl. 2 to 5 minutes max. Good girl. And I'm asking for constant focus. So that's why I'm giving her a lot of feedback, trying to keep that focus on me. Good girl. And she's staying close. She's keeping slack in the leash, and she's keeping her focus on me. Notice every time that I stop, she sits. So that's the expectation. And she's also sitting next to me. She's not coming around and sitting in front of me. Good girl. So this is a short leash anyway. This is a 4-foot leash, and I give her about 18 inches of space. So that way I can give her some quick feedback. If she does get distracted, it's just a quick, hey, focus on me. So left side within, right around my knee. If she's half a step in front or half a step behind, I'm not too worried about that. So once again, we're doing this inside because it's been raining outside. So there's no distractions around, which is exactly how I want you to start this this activity. So when you start a heel with her, you need to start with 0 distractions. We want to focus on this relationship and her getting some success with you before you implement distractions. I would not try and heel with her for the first 3 days that you have her, and then I would start very, very slow. I would not take her into a super distracted environment for at least a couple weeks. Instead, when we practice the heel, we can practice it inside. If you've got a nice big room where you can walk around the kitchen, just walk around the island. Just heel, just have her follow you. Focus on quality over quantity. If we just practice this for 2 minutes, but she's walking like this, good girl. She's focusing on me. I'm gonna reward her every time she makes eye contact. And then as I feel like, man, you are doing really well, let's start implementing distractions. So then we go outside in the backyard and we'll just do some laps around the backyard. Then maybe we'll go to the front yard. We'll go down a house, back a house, down a house, back a house. As she's doing really well, okay, let's take you to the park at a time when we know that there's not going to be a lot of people, and let's focus on the success. So with the heel, it is quality over quantity. I do not care how long you go out and walk. What I do care about is that she's focused, she's not pulling, and she's making eye contact with you and ignoring the distractions around. So if that means it's 2 minutes of a heel, fantastic. That's what we're going to do. So if she pulls, there's kind of a progression. So if she just gets a little bit distracted, so she saw a squirrel, I could just say, hey, Coco, oh, good girl, and reward her for re-engaging with me. We don't need anything fancy. It's just, oh, you made eye contact, let's keep walking. So that's if she got a little distracted. If she then started to actually pull, she saw another dog that she just absolutely wanted to get to. At that point, I am going to correct her. So I would tell her no, and I'd pop the leash. I try and pop it twice, but if you only get once, that's fine. But I will step in and try and pop that up. I'm not just going to pull her back because I use leash pressure to tell her where we're going. So just pulling her is not really going to give her a correction. It needs to be a pop. So it's pop, pop. Okay? Coco, we do not have to be that firm. It's literally more like 2 fingers than it is a whole hand. So it's no, pop, pop. If she focuses back on me, we can keep walking. And after a step or two, if she's still focused, I'll say, oh, good girl, and I'll reward that. If she immediately went back to pulling, or maybe it didn't work, then I would correct her one more time. So I'd go, no, pop, pop. Once again, if she focuses back on me and we can keep walking, I will reward that. If that still doesn't work, I'm not just going to keep popping her, keep saying no. I give her 2 opportunities to fix it there. If she continues to pull, now I'm going to come to a complete stop. We are no longer going to progress towards a distraction if you're out of control. We only get to get near a distraction if you're calm. And we're never going to go up and check a distraction out. But we are going to get closer and move past it as you're calm and in control. So we stop, we have a little pep talk, and then I will evaluate. Are you distracted or are you reactive? So if she's distracted, this is a great opportunity to practice our heel, where I'll do one of 2 things. We'll either do corrective U-turns if she keeps pulling out in front of me, or I will do sporadic walking if it's kind of a mixture of emotions, like trying to run away from something or kind of just pulling towards everything, if that makes sense. So corrective U-turns are when she keeps pulling out in front of me. So I'm going to try and set this up so you can see. So we're going to walk towards the camera. If she got out here in front, I would quickly just turn away from her. So I'm turning away. And if she doesn't pay attention, she's going to hit the end of that leash. I'm not yanking with it. I'm just allowing my momentum to correct her. So, and you can see she focuses really well. We don't have to do this very often. Now, if she's kind of pulling to the side or back or everywhere, or maybe it's like a pull, come back, pull, come out, come back. This is where I do sporadic walking. So sporadic walking is just, she doesn't know which way I'm going to go, when I'm going to stop, when I'm going to go. So it's more like we're going to step in front of her, and it's here. Oh, we're going this way now. So it's, you know, she's got to be on her toes because she just doesn't know which way we're going. So this kind of forces her to pay attention to me. I'll stop, I'll go. And as she really focuses in like this, good girl, then I'll start marking and rewarding. So that's how I can practice her heel. Now the other thing is when we do have a distraction, I am always going to put that distraction on my right side. She's on my left, distraction's on my right. I can use my body to block her. Good girl. And that way I can cut her off if I need to, get between her and another distraction. Good girl. And just help her engage with me. That body language tells her that I'm in charge and I'm going to take care of her. Because the heel is really relationship based. If you want a good heel, you have to have a good relationship with your dog. She has to know that you're going to take care of her. If she's unsure about that, that's when you get a dog that reacts towards those distractions and pulls a lot more. And that is why I say the first couple weeks, don't take her into a very distracted environment. Focus more on building this relationship. So if she does get reactive, so let's say there's another dog and she's like, "Bark, bark, 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 bark," and she's pulling to get to it or even to get away from it, but she's just going ballistic. At that point, she's in this red zone, and trying to heel is just going to make you frustrated. It's going to be a whole mess. So instead of trying to heel, I would rather engage with her. So engagement is just rewarding small victories, rewarding her focusing on you, and starting to come out of that red zone and become in more of a confident, calm stage. So we practice engagement a lot to build confidence, but when they actually get reactive, it's more about having them settle and regain some trust in you. So if she was barking over here, I would immediately cut her off and we're gonna get some distance. So once again, distance is your best friend. If she's barking at the camera, I would quickly get between her. We're gonna walk this way. We'll get as much distance as is needed. So whether that's 10 feet or whether that's 100 feet, there's always an amount of distance where she can start to calm down. Once we get that distance, I'm going to put my back towards the distraction and I'm going to reward simple victories. It's, "Oh, you stopped barking? Good girl. You're looking at me? Good girl." If I can get her to sit down, good girl. I'm rewarding those simple victories. If she's doing this back and forth trying to see around me, I might even come right down in front of her and then reward simple victories. So that way I start to get her to refocus on me. As she starts to become calm, she's sitting, she's looking at me, then we can open up and face the distraction. And I'm going to reward her for staying calm. And as she's calm, then maybe we can start to walk again. Maybe we've come out of that reactive zone and we can start walking. If she starts barking and freaking out again, guess what? I block her and turn her around, okay? So once again, this body language tells her, "Hey, knock it off, I'm in charge." We are going to remain calm in this situation. If I get anxious and I'm like pulling up on the leash, by putting pressure or putting that tension in the leash, we're telling her she should be anxious or reactive. So we're gonna remain calm and reward simple victories. Once again, I practice this a lot. So if there's an area where you can literally go take her and sit on a park bench and watch the world go by, great. We call it the art of doing nothing. We're gonna go sit down and watch other dogs, and I'm gonna reward you for not reacting. I'm gonna reward you for being calm, for sitting on a bench and a lady comes running past with her stroller and Coco looks up at you, "Good girl," and we reward her. Observe without interacting. But you're a good girl. Yeah. Okay, so that's a lot of information surrounding this, the heel and engagement and what to do if she pulls. Which she's not allowed to pull no matter the length of the leash. But if I'm out here trying to exercise Coco, I would rather use a long lead. So the long lead gives her freedom to roam and explore, which is what we want. If our goal is to exercise her, she needs space to move. Just your casual walk around the block with a short leash does not exercise your dog. They need to be moving, they need to be running, as well as sniffing is a very important activity. It's an enrichment activity for your dog. And so this is a 15-foot lead. This is the one that we use for when we go up to campus or anywhere where we have just a little bit of space and not crazy busy traffic. If we have a lot more traffic, I'll go to like an 11-foot lead. If we're in an area that's nice and open, I might go to a 30 or a 50-foot lead. But when we go on this type of walk, I get used to stepping over the leash, switching hands, because I'm okay if she goes back and forth or behind me. Like, she's able to move around and check things out, but she's not allowed to pull. The moment that she starts to pull is the moment I ask for a check-in. So this is the time that I really practice our recall. So my recall is the come command. So I'm going to say her name. There's going to be a brief pause, and then I'll call her to me. So it looks like this. Coco, come. Good girl. Okay. Notice, like, the moment that she actually starts coming towards me, I'm giving her feedback. So I'm telling her, good girl. I'm telling her she's doing the right thing, but she's not done yet. Then once she gets to me, I say, okay, and give her the treat. So especially if she's a long ways away, there's a lot of opportunity for her to get distracted. So I want to encourage her to keep coming. So it's, Coco, come. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Okay. She doesn't have to sit. She just needs to come to me. And if she hesitates, I have this long lead to reel her in. So if she fails, you're going to use all 3 markers, because I'll tell her no, I'll put a little pressure on. Once she gives into that pressure, I'll say good or good girl, and then when she gets to me, it's okay. So we're going to, let's see if we can stay in frame, and we're going to pretend that she ignored me, and you're going to see it does not take very much pressure. So I would just say no, give her a little pressure, good, good girl, okay. So where she was, she was kind of wrapped up in the leash, so I didn't want to yank it. I didn't want to swipe her feet out from under. So I said no, and I just put that pressure in. She kind of stood up and took half a step towards me, and I marked that, because that was like the beginning part of maybe I'll come towards you. And if I say, good girl, that's telling her that that's the right thing, and then she came the rest of the way to me. So Coco doesn't take a lot of pressure. It's very simple just to kind of redirect her towards me. So real quick, the sun's starting to come out a little bit. Let's just go outside and I'll show you this out in the grass, and then we'll be finished with the demonstration. Okay, so I want to quickly just show you in our grass area kind of what this long lead walk looks like, and then I'll actually let Coco off leash, and we'll quickly talk about an off leash recall. So during this walk, like I said, come on Coco, she can have her space, which she loves to just walk next to me. So during this walk, you'll get used to switching hands. Oh, AC turned on, huh? Oh, good girl. Coco, come. Good girl. Good girl, okay. So, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but this way she has some space, she can explore, and she can just be a dog. And I'm going to practice her recall every time she gets towards the end of the leash. Coco, come. Good girl, okay. Now, if I take her off leash, I no longer have the control to reel her in if she ignores me. So if she does ignore me, I have to go and get her. So we're going to toss this over here. Coco, come. Good girl. Good girl, okay. Good girl. So she has a great off-leash recall. We've been practicing this a lot, but she also has a relationship with us. So you definitely don't want to take her off-leash until you've built that relationship. So Coco also loves like some high-pitch noises. So if she's a little hesitant, usually I can be like, come on, Coco, good girl, and she'll follow me. But if she doesn't, if she ignores me, immediately I'm going to tell her no, and I'm going to go and get her. Where'd you go? And when I get to her, I'm going to help her succeed. So one, if I told her no, and I started walking towards her, but then she started to come to me, I'm going to stop walking towards her, good girl, and I'll start backing up. So that way I have her follow me, and I can reward that. Even if I had to get 90% of the way there, but then, so she failed, I got 90% of the way there, and that last 10% she started to come towards me, I will reward that behavior. I never want to correct or reprimand a dog when they came to me. But if I had to get 100% of the way there, once I got to her, I could tell her no, I could hook that leash on, or I could even take her under the collar and I would say, Coco, come, good girl, good girl, good girl. And I would have her follow me. So that's how I would follow through in that scenario. But no matter what, I have to go and get her. You can't say, I'll worry about you in a little while. We see that a lot with dogs maybe in the backyard. They're playing, they're getting into something. We call them to come. They ignore us. We go, I'll get you in a little while. And then the dog learns, oh, I don't have to listen to that recall. So if you call her, you have to go and get her. Come here. And just for fun, maybe we'll do a long stay here where we're outside. Oh, Coco. Come on. Coco, sit. Stay. It's a lot of distractions out here today. Nope. So there, that's a break. Come on. So I'm going to take her back. Pushed it just a little bit long. Come here. Coco. Sit. Stay. Lots and lots of distractions today. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. That was a lot, huh, Coco? Great. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. We love Coco. She's super sweet. We're going to kind of trim her up today, give her a little hygiene cut, trim around her eyes, and get her ready to go to you on Friday. But once again, if you have any questions, let us know. But thank you. We appreciate you allowing us to train Coco, and look forward to hearing how she's doing with you. Thanks.